Welcome back. You just listened to Torren Wells, Hills and Valleys. If you're just tuning in, yes, it's still Dawn on Sundays on your darling station, Garden City Radio 89.9 FM. Here we do things with groove and style. Time check is 53 minutes gone past 10. Yes, it's 7 minutes to 11. And we're still talking. I told you the story, well, my story, with some tweaks here and there. Remember I said creative license. I wrote it as I wanted it to, come out like a movie of sorts. But it doesn't take away the meat of the story. I did have an invasive surgery done on my stomach. I did experience that, I guess some people call it near-death experience. I saw things, I don't know, that made this world seem a bit too empty. And yet wonderful at the same time. But anyway, we're talking about scars, we're talking about wounds and scars. I told you the story of a young man who tried to kill himself. He was taking, or tried to take what is called otapiapia, to kill what is used to, it's a poison of sorts, to kill insects and rodents and whatnot. I wondered about the wounds he carried. You see, he had been unlucky in love. He'd also been duped by people he trusted and felt, life was bleak, life was empty. What did he have to live for? So yes, I guess his own wounds may have been on the inside. And it pushed him to almost end his life. Yeah, there are wounds like that. Imagine a man or a woman who's been deserted by their loved one. Maybe the wife left, or the husband left, and maybe left in a most unceremonious manner. You know what, I don't want you anymore, and leaving. Or maybe kicked you out of the house, or gathered up your things and took off, and has destroyed your trust in people, in love. So when people tell you things like they love you or they compliment you, you take it with a pinch of salt, because you believe they're lying, they're being manipulative, they're being calculating, they want something and they're trying to get you to lower your guard. And that's the thing about wounds, you see. They leave something behind. Not just the scars, they leave some kind of damage. You see, a scar shows that damage took place here. It's a sign, either an outward sign or an inward sign of some kind of damage that took place. So now you find it hard accepting compliments, because in times past, people who gave you compliments and you let them into your life ended up being snakes in green grass or wolves in sheep clothing. So you can't trust. And that's what that wound has taken away from you. It has stolen your ability to trust. Same thing applies for the example I gave of a man losing his wife or a woman losing her husband in the most unceremonious manner. You find it very difficult to trust. I was talking with a young man the other day, and no, this is not about relationships, but it's about wounds and scars and what they leave behind. And he was trying to get this particular young girl to believe his love for him, or the love he had for her. And she said she can't trust him, not because he has done anything to her, but because in times past she has had her heart broken so many times that it's difficult to believe that whatever he's saying is true. That's an effect of wounding, and that's a scar right there. Emotional scar. Some of us have done things that we are deeply ashamed of and we deeply regret. And we go through life punishing ourselves, carrying the wounds and the scars of our actions to the point where we do not believe that we deserve certain things. Some believe they don't deserve happiness. Some believe they don't deserve to be loved. Some believe they don't deserve to be regarded. There are so many things about wounds and scars and what they leave behind. Many times, these wounds, even the scars or the scarring, we don't know we carry. We don't know we exhibit. For example, There's this young girl I know. Whenever she wants to say something, she'll say, the idea might be stupid though, but see, don't be angry. I might come off as idiotic, but she always begins it with that. On the surface, you say, this person has low self-esteem, which is why the person always has to be apologetic before they, put forth their ideas. But I think it's a wound that might stem from maybe years of verbal abuse, emotional abuse, people laughing and mocking her, maybe whenever she opens her mouth or whenever she, gives her own opinions or opinion. And so she has grown to feel that, okay, she might just be stupid. And that's the wound. And then that's the scarring it has left behind. That's the effect it has left behind. And she may not know that that's how she's coming off. But there's hope for all of us who have this kind of things. And there's help for all of us who share in this kind of things. Now, there are some who have been so badly wounded and badly scarred that it has turned them. Have you ever heard this phrase, na people they make person wicked? Maybe because they were trusting in times past, or loving, or helpful, or too helpful, and having been used as a doormat, having been used as for their nuisance value or whatever, and they have realized it, they turned mean, bitter, aggressive, and antagonistic. Have you ever come across somebody that you might just be joking with the person, you just say something which, it's funny, every other person finds it funny, and the person will just blow up, and you'll be like, what kind of overreaction is that? That's the wound that they carry from some relationship. It could be from growing up, it could also be from a love kind of relationship, because sometimes even in love, you might go into a relationship being a self-assured, confident man or woman, and you come out of that relationship not knowing if up is still up or down is still down, because you might end up being with a narcissist who will turn you inside out. You will no longer be sure about yourself. And in the end, not being sure and being scarred by that person, you become aggressive when you feel, oh, this person might be taking advantage of me, or this person might be, trying to mock me or trying to talk down to me, something. So you become aggressive or overly aggressive. You end up overreacting because you're trying to defend yourself from what used to happen in your past. It triggers that reaction. But like I said, there's hope for all of us. There's help for all of us. Even if it turns you bad, you can still come back from it. Even if it made you evil and you ended up, hurting people you had no business hurting. Because many times, when people get wounded or damaged, they do not take it out on the person or persons directly responsible for that wounding or damage. They take it out on innocent people. Even they don't know that they are taking out their issues on another person. They just believe they're reacting to what that person is doing. Let's hope. I think I'll take you through my own journey. How I found my own hope, and I'm still finding, because I'm a work in progress, and I believe all of us are, works in progress. I woke up and I was staring at that rosary. It was a black rosary with a silver cross on it. And I was in such horrifying pain. I was writhing. I just wanted the pain to end, but it wouldn't. People were standing, looking at me in pity. I didn't know what to do. I just wanted to get out of myself. There was blood everywhere. Oh, it was not a good time. Now, in walks a family member of mine. And by the way, I did say my sister was making life miserable for me. That was creative license. I just wanted to add flavor. Like, that's why I kept giving the warning. I tweaked the story. So don't read too much into it, but take the meaning of the story. In walks this family member, and they look at me and they're like, why is it that everything is happening to you? This is no longer ordinary. You've come out from this, that, and the other. You know, they just listed so many things that have gone wrong in my life. But in that moment of pain, in that haze of pain, what they were saying was Greek. All I wanted was the pain to end, but it would take days for me to even get myself, as they say. And it would take months, maybe even years, to realize this thing I'm about to tell you. This happened 2012, 2013, thereabout. One time, in all my, I used to pity myself a lot, wallow in self-pity. My sister said something to me. She said, she used a football term. They only go after the person with the ball. And she likened my life to someone who's playing a ball, football, and life are the other players chasing me. Now, it's either I play and score, or I relinquish my foothold on the ball and give up. But I've got the ball. The ball represents my goals, my dreams, my hopes, my vision. My sister is she can be quite wise when she's not annoying me and making me want to stab her in the eye. I'm joking. But yeah, so the ball represents all that. And so bring it down to this time in my life when I'm wondering what is going on, and also wondering what next will come. And it hit me. You're a soldier. And that's why all these things are happening to you. We are called Christian soldiers. Remember, this program has something and nothing to do with religion. Basically, we just tell the truth here. It's about truth. The human truth. So if you're an atheist, pagan, omnist, whatever it is you are, you're welcome. And your thoughts and contributions are also welcome. So I looked at it, okay, I'm a soldier. And you see, there's no soldier who can avoid war. And life is war. She chooses whatever weapons she will come at you with. It could be the death of your child. It could be the death or the loss of a loved one. It could be the end of a job. It could be being in an accident and, losing a limb. It could be illness. I mean, life, she has is it a plethora or an abundance of weapons to choose from to come at us? But we're soldiers. And yes, the Bible does say, no weapon fashioned against us shall prosper. But you see, the weapons will be fashioned. They will come. We will have to fight. We fight in prayer or through prayer, and we fight by standing firm, staying positive in our lives. But there will be wounds. Sometimes life will stab you in the eye, stab you in the neck, stab you in the stomach, stab you in the back. Something, you're going to have wounds. But I can tell you, my brother, my sister listening right now, that you are stronger than whatever life has to throw at you. You can stand and you can come out on the other side better for it. You are that strong. The thing is, do you believe it? Do you believe that whatever life throws at you, you can take, you can heal that wound and keep on going? Now let me tell you the beauty about wounds and scars. They are lessons. That's part of the thing when I was thinking about my life and wondering why all these things happening to me. They are simply just lessons. What we're meant to use them for, I really don't know. Whether we're supposed to use them for the here and the hereafter, I really don't know. But there are lessons and lessons to learn. Because if you don't learn that lesson, you're going to keep going round and round that circle till you get it. So it is my hope and my prayer that whatever you're passing through, whatever wounding and scars you carry right now, you will get the lesson and move on and be promoted to the next level, but they are lessons. What was my lesson? My lesson was that I am strong. My lesson was that, what I learned was that nothing can break me. It can try, it can attempt, but it cannot. It will not. Unless maybe I give it that power. Unless I allow it succeed in not only breaking me, but in completely destroying me and ending me. Life comes at you because you have something to do here. Only you can figure out what that thing is. And only you can either grow the dream or the goal, or you can shrink it. Remember the parable of the talents? God had given the men, okay, take and do with as you see fit. Some multiplied, some didn't. And those that didn't, well, you know their story. So don't stop. Don't allow life win. You must triumph. You must surmount her and her arsenal and her weapons of mass destruction. Don't allow whatever life throws at you to make you better. It must make you better. Let it make you better by what? Conscious living. You need to be conscious. You need to be aware of yourself. You need to be present in the moment wherever you find yourself. So that anytime you see yourself wanting to harm another person, wanting to overreact, wanting to say something mean or nasty because that person has said something that has triggered something from your wounding of the past, conscious living will make you stop yourself. What would be gained from breaking or destroying another person, whether you know it or not? And I believe we know it. Because there are times when we say things and do things and we go back and say, I shouldn't have done that. So you can go back and apologize. You're big enough to. Go back and apologize and say, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to do this, I didn't mean to say that. And little by little, you might end up reprogramming yourself to the point where if somebody says something, whether intentionally or not, you'll be able to control and condition your reaction and not allow the wounds of your past make you react to something that may or may not be true or be real. Conscious living. And maybe right now you're sitting and you're wondering and saying, gosh, I feel like exploding. I feel like I'm being drawn, pulled apart from every corner. It's almost as if I'm at my wit's end, and before you know it, I might snap. My brain might explode or implode, and I'll just lose myself, lose my mind, and run crazy. You won't. Because you are strong enough to withstand all the pulling. You are strong enough. That day on that bed, I looked at myself. I was like, Kai, man, this pain. Well, I'm the same person who passed through that pain. I'm here now talking with you, speaking to you. I'm the same person who had to, in fact, let me tell you, the next day, I had to leave the recovery room and go upstairs. Nigeria and our shoddy healthcare system. They didn't have a wheelchair. They didn't have a wheelchair ramp to even push me upstairs. Someone who had, I don't know how many inches this scar is, but if I had fallen, my stomach would have popped open and I would probably have bled out there. I stood in the most excruciating of pains. I stood up and I walked 2 flights of stairs to where my hospital room and hospital bed was. People were surprised. But I like to think it was God. You see, I began this journey into that hospital with prayer. I can do all things through Christ who strengthens me. It was true. When they stuck the epidural in my spine, I didn't even feel the pain. Maybe because of the expertise of the anesthetist, I don't know. But I liken it to God because I didn't even feel the prick of the injection. I didn't. God will be with you. Your faith will be with you. The Creator will be with you no matter what you're passing through. And you will find that you will be able to stand and walk through the storm. You will be able to withstand. You will be able to grow. You will be able to make it through despite the wounding. And I'm praying that you will now begin to see that wounding as a blessing. See that wounding as the remolding of your being. See that wounding as something that is meant to change your perception of certain things. We didn't come to this world to enjoy. But praise be to God that there are times when we enjoy. The laughter of a child, the passing of breeze, the scent or the aroma of good food and flowers, hanging out with friends and enjoying their company. If all you have is money, then you are not rich. There's so many things that makes life enjoyable, and yet so many things that makes life painful, but it's worth it. I don't know if it is for the next level of our lives. Maybe you get to a certain point, you say, I've been through this thing, so I understand it. I can teach this person. Or I've been through this thing, so it is not too much for me. I can pass through it. I don't know. This is an exploration in thought. It's an exploration in philosophy. It's an exploration in life. But it's also for you to know that you are strong. You are powerful. You can make it. You can do it despite the wounding. You have the ball. Don't give the ball to the other people that are chasing after you. The ball is your goal. The ball is your dream. The ball is your vision. Keep going. You will score the goal. But see, you will pass through hell. And when you pass through that hell, don't let the wounding change you. Let it make you better. I don't know why I'm stressing on this. I don't even know why this topic came into my mind. Maybe it's for somebody. Don't let the wounding change you, because when God made you, He made you perfect. He gave you beautiful gifts and attributes that make you an absolutely amazing person, whether you are rich or poor or in between, whether you are educated, semi-educated, or completely illiterate. He gave you marvelous things that make you an awesome human being. So don't let life take that from you. Don't let life rob you of your joy, of the milk of humanness. So you feel like throwing in the towel. You feel like ending it all. Or you feel like making a wrong choice. You've held on for so long. You don't know if you can. You've decided, okay, you know what, since I can't, since good doesn't seem to be working, I'm going to do evil. I'm going to rob somebody. I'm going to kill. I'm going to try, I don't know, dark magic or dark arts or whatever. I'm going to sell my soul. I'm going to taint myself. Don't. You're passing through that storm, through that wounding for a reason. The scars you will have will show that you have lived a full life. Don't chicken out now that you are so close, so close. After you have passed through all the hell and high water, now you want to just throw it all away. After you have worked so hard to get to this point, despite the wounding, you do yourself and those whom you're meant to bless a great disservice. You have to keep on. song earlier on, and I want to play it again. I don't know how many of you listened to it earlier on, but I want you to listen to it again. It's by Casting Crowns. It's Oh My Soul. I need you to know who you are, what you carry, what you possess. The fierceness, the strength that is in you, even though you think you don't have it, you do. The ability to be able to withstand anything. Because there is a force, there's a spirit, there's a seed, there's a light inside of you that cannot be extinguished, cannot be destroyed, cannot be broken, but it will take a damn good beating. Now, before I play this song, I said something about hope for all of us who carry one form of scarring or the other, one form of wound or the other. Minus conscious living is prayer. Because if you evaluate yourself very well, you see where you tend to overreact, where you tend to sell yourself short, where you tend to talk down about yourself, where you tend to, project the wounding of your past. It's prayer. Not just prayer to God, but you can talk to yourself. Tell yourself, self, it's going to be all right. Self, I am amazing. Self, I am beautiful. Self, if nobody loves me, I love me. Self, I am fearfully and wonderfully made. Self, I am a joy to be around. Talk to yourself. As you're praying to God, or if you don't believe in God, praying to nature or talking with the universe, whatever it is that floats your boat, I don't know. But one thing I know is that when we say things, when we put things out there, something happens. Something amazing happens. And as you continually begin to say these things to yourself, continually praying, you will see the change. You begin to learn new things about yourself. You begin to see that you really are amazing. I'll tell you this one, a friend of mine told me recently. You see, she's a people pleaser. She likes to please people to the point where it becomes detrimental to her. All because of stuff that used to happen to her in her past. She was quite abused as a child. Talked down to. So she was never really sure where she fit. But the only time people seemed to be happy with her was when she was doing something for them. And so that's what she started doing. Doing for people just so that they would be happy with her because it made her happy. Now one day, while helping out somebody, something went wrong and there was this big dust up, as in talk brought talk, and people were, oh, the things that were said to her when she told me. You see, with the way she had been giving herself away, they began to take it for granted that she was the help. House help. She was there to serve. So they didn't look at her as, part of the family or you are a friend. They looked at her as, you just simply do things for us. And she broke down. It was a terrible moment for her. But understanding came. She realized that her past had been what was making her project this, I want to please people, I want people to be happy with me so that at least I will feel included. She now realized that she had been selling herself short. She had been giving permission to people to treat her badly. She had been making people see her in that subservient manner because of her past, because of her wounding. And so she chose to wake up. These days, if you tell her, please, can you do this thing for me? No. She doesn't need to explain anything to you. No. If she wants to do it, and that's if, she'll do it. But if she looks at it, she first analyzes inside her heart, how will this thing make me feel? Am I doing this? That's a conscious living thing I'm telling you about. Am I doing this to please this person? Do I actually want to do this thing? And if the answers are negative, she'll tell you no, she's not going to do it. It was shocking at first when Hey, this girl has changed though. Now people speak to her with respect, she says. They don't just assume that she will just do it. No, they speak to her with respect. Please, can you? And if she says no, they're okay with it. Nobody is shocked. Nobody says, now wow, there was a time when. She forgave herself of the things she allowed to be done to her. She forgave the people and the persons who wounded her. But you see, just like me, she's a work in progress, because there are times when you forget, you slip up, and then you find yourself in that pattern. But you can always still come out once you catch yourself doing that thing that is a symptom or a cause or a direct cause from your wounding, from the scars you carry from that wounding. So it is my prayer that you'll be healed today. It is my prayer that your renewal, the renewal of your mind, the renewal of your spirit, even the renewal of your body, of your being, begins today. Just sit down and think about it. Some of these things I do, is it as a result of something that happened to me in my past? Sit down. Our conscience is not dead. Your conscience will speak. In fact, try this exercise. I don't know. It works for me. You can silently or vocally ask the Holy Spirit. It works for me. Like I said, this is not a religious whatever, but this is what works for me. Ask the Holy Spirit. Oh, I don't know. Ask the universe. Ask the Creator. Whatever floats your boat. Show me where I'm allowing my past manipulate me. Show me where I'm allowing the wounds, psychological wounds, emotional wounds, spiritual wounds, physical wounds, manipulate me into putting myself in positions that are detrimental to me. And if the Holy Spirit is the Holy Spirit, as He does for me, you will suddenly begin to remember, one thing will just, strike your mind, boom, Or you remember an incident that something happened, and it may not make much sense then, as in, why am I remembering this thing? But that is your answer. See an instance. Then you can tell the Holy Spirit, help me heal. We all need to heal from the wounds that we carry, but the scars, wear it like a badge of honor. Because you've lived. You've lived. I'll be opening the phone lines in 5 minutes, just after this song by Casting Crowns. We're talking about our wounds. Things we've allowed to manipulate us, to control us. Things we've allowed to keep us down. Things we've allowed to defeat us. But after this one by Casting Crowns, oh my soul, oh your soul, it's time to fight. Welcome back. It's 11:30, and you're still listening, tuned to your Groove and Style station. We are Garden City Radio 89.9 FM, and this is Dawn on Sundays. We've been trying to be philosophical, trying to open wounds, clean out the muck in the wounds, sew them back together, and wear our scars like a badge of honor. Yeah, that's what we've been trying to do. But I'd like to hear from you guys as well. What wounds do you think you've been allowing manipulate you, making you act in ways that you're not even supposed to act in? People will say, that's a very nice lady. That's a very, nice young man. He's always laughing, always friendly, but sometimes he had a touch. Many times it's triggered from our past. Things we've experienced, things we've been told, things that, were meant to crush us, were meant to keep us from holding on to the ball. So yeah, you can call in. If you have words of comfort for someone who might be going through it, or if you have a contribution, advice, suggestion, we'd like to hear from you. We're all listening. It's your platform right now. So you can call in on 080-928 95620. That's 080-928-95620. You can also send a text on 090-8668-1703. That's 090-8668-1703. I'd like to hear about your wounding, about the scars you've carried, about the battles you fought. Because you see, like I said, we are all soldiers. In this life, on this planet, we are all soldiers. Hello.
Hello.
Good morning.
Yeah, morning. Pastor Guest.
Pastor Guest, what's your name? Where are you calling from?
Yeah, I'm calling from Atari side.
Atari.
Atala.
Hello?
Atala report.
Okay, artillery. All right.
Yes.
Go ahead.
I like your topic. Very, very nice.
Okay.
God bless you.
God bless you too.
It just touched my mind.
Okay.
It just touched my life now.
Wow, thank you.
It just what is happening to me is what you are just saying.
Oh wow. Okay.
It's like a prophet.
No, I am not.
God bless you. Well.
God bless you too, my brother.
So, my own view is that I have a problem concerning my own wound. I will call it a wound. Concerning a lady I got married to.
Okay.
But she have a covenant with another man.
Aha. All right.
I'm a nearly dead man because they are trying to kill me. This so-called manipulations. So they plan to kill me, and I've got many types of marriage. If I get into marriage, one or the other will stop it. No one choose to love me. No one choose to see me or feel me as a human being. But I don't know what to do anymore. I just, where I am now, I just keep myself under case. I was under case, trying to find something to do myself before you said this thing now. I just wanted listen to radio before you come. God bless you. That is my problem.
God bless you too. Thank you for calling. Have a wonderful Sunday.
God bless.
Well, like I say, there's nothing more than prayer. There's nothing more than God. I don't know. But I know one thing is for sure. No weapon fashioned against us shall prosper, as the Bible says. And every tongue that rises against us shall be condemned, right? Right. Hello?
Hello?
Good morning.
Morning.
What's your name? Where are you calling from?
I'm coming from Port Harcourt. My name is Lontati.
Okay. Go ahead.
See, what I'm facing through from now, I'm very, very badly.
Okay.
I'm facing through my problem I cannot face again.
And what is that?
While I'm living in the house, my brother wife is disturbing me.
Disturbing you in what sense?
I don't know what happened though.
Yeah, go ahead. Disturbing you in what sense? So we get a clearer picture.
Yes, I just we are in the house, so I don't know what is problem. He's giving me headache every time. I'm facing some problem as a man too. It talks some kind of thing, but I'm not sure I'm talk sometimes. I just keep quiet and look hard. And sometimes I'm very, very bad. I'm very, very vexed with the way he's talking to me. And I don't like that.
Okay, can I ask you, do you have a job? Do you have something that takes you out of the house?
Yes, I have a job. I'm working, but every month I'm so given something to cook to. But this month they don't even pay me, so that is the thing that brings a problem.
Okay, so why are you staying with them? If you have a job, don't you think you can get a place of your own? I'm asking.
To get what? House?
Yes, of your own. Is your salary not enough?
Yeah, I'm still a small boy. I cannot get some money like that to buy a house now.
Okay, I see.
because the work that I work in does not pay me an amount of money I can use buy a house.
No, not to buy, rent. You rent it, even if it's a self-contained. You can save up for it, don't you think?
Okay, but I thought that with my friend, but with my friend is bringing me down because by now I don't already do what you asked me to do now.
Okay.
But by the grace of God, by now to close to December, I must do a house.
Amen.
Okay, thank you for your contribution.
Thank you for calling in. Have a wonderful Sunday. Well, the way I see life, many times there are certain situations, though horrible and whatnot, we can actually come out from, walk away from. If you have the financial capability of getting your own place, no matter how small, you do it. I mean, your castle, your house should be your castle. Hello? I seem to have lost that person. Hello? Yeah, okay, I lost that one. What I meant was, nothing sweet past your own thing. So when you have your own small house, no matter how small, it's your castle, it's your own, you own it. And there's a sense of, how I put it now, you feel good when you know that, yes, this is my own. Hello? Hello? Okay. Hello?
Hello.
Okay, good morning.
Good morning.
What's your name? Where are you calling from?
This is Mr. Ifeanyi calling from Limolumeni.
Okay, Mr. Ifeanyi. Are you alright? Your voice sounds a bit funny.
Well, I'm somehow fine.
Okay, what's wrong?
I've been listening to your program from the beginning.
Okay.
And firstly, I'm not commending you.
Can you speak up? Can you speak up a bit? I really cannot hear you.
I said, firstly, I have to commend you, and I'm very happy for you for being this strong till this moment about the story you shared.
Okay.
And coming to the point of the program about scars and wounds, I have really experienced very bad scars and deep wound.
Okay.
But when I heard yours, I was like, wow. I think it gives me more strength to live more.
Okay.
Because yours is very deeper than mine.
Okay.
So, but there is this one that has been holding me down anytime I feel like moving forward.
Alright.
I do all my fault because I offended someone. And that has kept haunting me.
What did you do? If you'd like to share.
I want to move forward.
Okay.
A friend of mine that I took as my own brother as well. We are like brothers because we are from the same place. So I lived with him on his house while I was still in my standard level, my HND. So, but it was that and the guy got married. And things were very hard for me. And this guy in question is a well-living guy. And he has a human sympathy because he accommodates me and he also feeds me. There is this thing. Once he got this married from this girl. And before he got married to this girl, I'm in full support. I'm even the one that persuaded him to make sure he married this girl because she was very nice at the first time. But since he was married into the house, came all of a sudden. So because of that thing, because we have been even friendly while she was visiting,
when she was visiting, not yet married by then, we were very close that I even take her to anywhere she goes. Even when she was looking for a job, I'm the one losing my phone and taking her to everywhere she wants, just because of the friendly. Now she's married to this my friend and my brother as well. Then she found this guy, they start from me. Secondly, started persuading me to do and then have no place to go from there because parents are not worthy enough to have me a house to complete my school. So I was only just trying to use it to complete it. So this girl now is a thorn on my neck. So that was the time I carried it on my phone. My phone cannot browse because I need to get something. So they went to church and the girl's phone is in the house. Now, for me to firstly unuse the phone before they came back. Hello?
I'm listening to you. You have the floor. Go ahead.
Right. So I was using the phone inside my to get what I was looking for. And on the process of it, they came back. I don't know how to return the phone again and how to make it, because I don't want her to know that I even touched her thing or anything wherever. Don't know what else to do. I don't. And she came back. I was looking for a means for her to get out so that I can put the phone back. But all of a sudden, she started looking for the phone. I don't know what to do. I was like, I'm being trapped. I had the phone. They were like searching for the phone. They asked me if I saw the phone. I said no. Because I don't want to be blamed. I don't want her insult or anything. I was like waiting for a time, maybe when they are tired of looking for it, I will now meet it and go in and talk. So what is the time for that? Call people, they were like asking for the phone, looking for it. I can't do it. I don't even know what to do again. Everything in me, I know I'm the one having the phone. And for God and man, I have no intention of holding the phone. After the phone was searched for, nowhere to be found, and I know immediately that time I need to switch it off to avoid having it ringing in my room. So after searching for it, they locked their room and everywhere. I don't know how to put the phone again. I was like, God, what do I do again? Okay, to the extent that I have to go for the thing lasted for about 2 to 3 days. I was like waiting anytime that I could see a chance to sneak inside the room and put the phone back. But no chance. They are now locking the room. So I was very difficult. I don't even know what to do again. So I was saying I don't know what to do. I have to go to the Reverend Father and narrate this story, how it happened. And I don't want them to know I'm the one putting this. So coming back that day, after I narrated that to the Reverend Father asked me to bring the phone. That he will call the owner and explain, but he will not call my name. I was like, okay. When I get back to the house, I have seen her having another phone. Now started making some swear and against whoever that has the phone.
Oh no, okay.
Like shivering, and I was like crying inside of me, saying, God, I got all this because God is in my intention. So after much more, I went back to the Reverend Father and said, the Reverend Father, what's that? The Reverend Father said, very sorry, and I told him that I need a cast and I need that cost to be cast away and just from her. The Reverend Father prayed for me and I pleaded with the Reverend Father, please, no return the anymore, but if you pray for me and know anything that you know that you do with the phone, to give it to a person or anything, but my hand is up on it and pray for me, my hand to move out and God knows that I don't have the phone anymore. So after my more, the Reverend Father prayed for me, did some pounds and some I said that I should not do such thing again, that he really understand what I'm saying. Don't want myself to be implicated and all that. how much more? It ended that way. I don't know how. Then little time I had to extend that because they started trying to. The guy have already been trying to set me down. Now I know it myself. There's no need of waiting for day to happen. I have to look for another place or until I get. So after that, what I'm trying to say now, after all that said and done, that same thing that happened. You know, how many time I remember it hurts me so much. Why do I even put myself in serious and why does this happen that way? Because I don't have any intention of taking the phone. And thank God the phone is still not with me. I give it out and it's a man of God and I give it out and he pray for me. But that incident is still.
Hello?
I don't know if you get what I mean.
I get what you're saying.
Incident is still disturbing me.
Okay.
That is my problem. Anytime I remember it, I feel bad.
Well,
and for now, for this thing now, God has lifted me up. I'm well okay. Everything, I'm okay. And but anytime I have a car, I have my own house, and you know, but that same issue is still disturbing me. Anytime I remember it.
Do you feel guilty? Do you feel you would like to go and meet them and tell them what exactly happened to the phone?
Yes. I've been feeling like, but I say that if I do that now, the girl will now start broadcasting and going around and, you know, is too full of herself. Yeah.
Do you guys live in the same area? Are you still together?
I'm in Port Harcourt now.
And they are where?
They are in the Western region.
Okay, so if you go and, how will I put it now, cleanse your mind, as it were, why should you give a damn what people in another part of another place say or do or think? You're looking for peace of mind as it is, and you're not having peace of mind. So why are you afraid to do the one thing that could possibly give you peace of mind? You can go with a new phone if you like and say, see what happened. You just have to come clean that it was fear that made you do that. You understand? You can go with a new phone if you like, which I think they might reject, but go and explain how it happened, and you'll be very surprised that you feel relieved. Now, another thing about feeling bad about it could be that, you know, you're being too hard on yourself. Therefore, anytime, and you're judging yourself too harshly. It was an unfortunate turn of events, I guess, that happened. These things happen. But you shouldn't be afraid to, you know, man up and, like they say, bite the bullet. Buy a new phone if you want to. Go and meet them. Explain how it happened. Cleanse yourself or cleanse your conscience or whatever. And leave them to think or say or do whatever it is. But at least you are free of whatever you feel is holding you back. That's what I think anyway. Okay, you can still call in. Okay, we have 10 minutes more. 080-928-95620. That's 080-928-95620. Maybe you have a better suggestion, because me, I know no human being has a lean on knowledge. You might have a different suggestion for our friend who called in. Please call, share, or tell us your own story. We're waiting. Hello?
Yeah, you are talking with Magnus.
Magnus, you're calling from where?
I'm calling from Igrita.
Igrita. Okay, welcome to the program. What do you have to tell us?
In respect to what the man is complaining now over the phone issue, there is where I have my solution.
Okay, go ahead.
There is what we call restitution in Bible. For the fact he is having that conscience blaming him, he is not free. He should do what he will do to have his set free from God. Okay. It doesn't matter what man is saying about you. It matters what God is saying about you. You should have a clear conscience. Go to the man and restitute. That is what we call restitution. So that at the last day, you will have to get free from any blame.
Okay. Thank you,
that is my contribution, because it's exactly in line with what you said. Your advice is the real advice of what you should do. Forget about human being at this juncture and have a clear conscience between you and God, so that nothing will hold you captive in any way.
Okay. Thank you, Magnus, for calling in. Thank you
God
for your
bless
contribution.
You,
God bless you too, my brother. Have a fantastic Sunday. Okay. You have a dissenting view. we're open to listen. You are in agreement, open to listen. You have a piece of advice, we're here. We've got like 8 more minutes to go. Maybe I can squeeze in a call or two. Let's see if I have any text messages first of all. Okay, you can send in text messages if you like on 090-8668-1703. That's 090-8668-1703. We're talking about wounds and the scars. I need, I want, I pray, I hope for you to be free of whatever woundings have been keeping you back, holding you down, and making you express yourself in ways you would ordinarily not even be expressing yourself. Hello?
Sorry, I can finish at the earlier time.
Okay. But have you heard what people have said?
Yes, I heard what this man that called said,
Yeah.
and I appreciate it.
So do you think you can
So
do that?
Yeah, I think I will find time and do that. I have to
Beautiful.
go, and this thing happened back.
Hello?
Hello?
I can hear you. Go ahead.
Yeah, I said I believe what you and the man said is okay. And I believe I will make her time and go and clear myself and feel free from it. Because I believe it's something new I said.
Yeah.
I'm being hard on myself earlier and it's bothering me.
Okay.
I think that is the wound I believe that is in me.
Okay. And once you do that, you'll be free. Just forgive yourself. I mean, who hasn't done one thing or the other? Even the person you're going to make restitution to, as our friend put it, also has his own, scoring skeletons and whatnot. There is no perfect human being. And you made mention of a reverend father. So I believe you're Catholic. I'll tell you this little story. At one point in time, whenever I used to go for confession, I would go and I would be in tears and all that, crying, actually feeling remorse for the things I've done. Till somebody tapped me on the shoulder and said to me, you see this cry you're crying here, it doesn't move the priest because they've heard it all. There is nothing you have done that they may not have heard before. If you're sorry about what you've done, just go confess and go away free. So that those persons you're going to confess to, they have their own age. Do you understand?
Okay.
So that's the thing you should put at the back of your mind when you go. And don't be afraid. You hear?
Thank you very much. This is my first time of listening to this program and this radio reference, so and I really feel the deep.
Oh, thank goodness. Stick around. We have plenty more for you. Plenty more. You'll enjoy yourself.
All right.
Have a wonderful
Right,
Sunday, my brother.
Thank you.
Okay, bye-bye. Okay, I think this is a good time to jump off because I need Aurelia to say it's 12 o'clock. I like when she does that thing. So I will leave you with Riley Clemens. And she's saying, hold on. But if you'd like to talk to me about this, that, and any other thing, you can do so on 08098051480. That's 08098051480. You can send me text. We can talk about this, that, and we chat about anything, basically. You can send me an email. I'd like to share your story. dawnonsundays@gmail.com. That's dawnonsundays@gmail.com. Dawn is spelled D-A-W-N. We can interact on social media as well. On Twitter, I'm at Dawn on Sundays. And on Instagram, I'm at Chamcaster. Chamcaster is spelled CharmCastar. And already you guys have been calling. But I cannot pick it up because I'm still on the air. Wait till I get off the air. So this is Riley Clemens. Hold on, please. Hold on. Talk to you next week, Sunday. Take care, everybody. Bye-bye.